I don't know how far back, and I don't know what country in Africa I'm from. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
You're not even American. You're not even African American. You're not even American. You're not even African American.
You're not even African American.
You're...
Shalom everyone, it's your boy PayGdashtheprophet. If you don't know, I'm back with a new lesson called The Genetic Heritage of Black People. So, who are we? We are not black. Black is a color like red, blue, and green. Okay, what is the language that goes with black? It is not English because English is a West Germanic language. Okay, what is the culture that goes with black? Or even, what is the landmass that goes with black? For example, Chinese, they have their language, Mandarin, different dialects. Okay, they have their culture and they have their land mass to go back to. What is our language? Okay, what is our culture and what is our land mass? Okay, we have to know that. So you can't be pro-black and say, speaking English, okay, and doing English things, celebrating English things and say I'm pro-black or black power. Because everything we do as quote-unquote black people, when you look at it, it's European. So who are we? So it doesn't really make sense to say I'm black. There's no language with it, there's no culture with it, and there's no landmass. Now, when you go back to Africa, quote-unquote Africa, then it's like, okay, well, what part of Africa? Because there are many countries, there are many different dialects and cultures and so forth. Okay, so these things have not been taught to us in school. You see what I'm saying? So we're already at a disadvantage. Now, I have a over 2 hour lesson on who we are genetically, backing up everything. Okay, all the college textbooks, illustrative books, everything. Okay, proving all things of who we are as being the biblical Hebrew Israelites.
I'll be honest with you. I don't like the colored. Seems to me they're always getting into some sort of trouble. I don't think much of Hebrews either.
I'm the only normal person left around here. I'm a black Jew. I can't read. I'm half drunk. I'm a black Jew.
I don't think much of Hebrews either.
Now, one of the things I deal with is the ancestry. Okay, our ancestry. Genesis chapter 10, verse 21 and 22. Okay, unto Shem. Shem. Okay, what is Shem? What does that mean? Definition of Shem, that the eldest son of Noah, held to be the progenitor, forefather of the Semitic peoples. Semitic peoples. Okay, and then you know how the media loves to use that word anti-Semitism, which would mean hostility to or prejudice against Jews. Shem. So the Semitic people, to be anti-Semitic would be that you're hostile or prejudiced against Jews. So when we find out the real Shemitic people, who are the ones that's really being anti-Semitic? Okay, but let's continue here. But those two words sticking out, Eber and Elam, I want to kind of go into those words and make some connections with the scholarship that I have. In this book, Ibos or Ebos, Hebrew exiles from Israel, okay, amazing facts and revelations. The name Eber, which is found in the generation of Shem, Genesis 11:15, is also used by the Ibos or Ebos as name or part of the name of a town. Okay, examples: Eber, Ebenebi, Eberio, Muma, Ukibi, etc. Eber is an eponym from Ebrite, okay, called Hebrew in English. Okay, now this is dealing with the Ebos, the Hebrews, okay, in Nigeria. But I'm going to get into that and bring more of this out a little later. But as we see the connection here, right? But this is not being taught at school. Okay, making more connections. Hebrewisms of West Africa. All right, just making that connection with Elam. All right, the Elamites of Mesopotamia appear to have been a Negroid people with kinky hair. Whoa, really now? Also, I proved that the original Hebrews were people of color, okay? Quote unquote black people, okay? But their nationality would be Hebrew Israelite, not black. The ancient black Hebrews and Arabs. Go here, page 39. As we see here, detail of Lachish, Judean, being executed. And look at his hair, okay? It's not your long, stringy-headed white man, okay? Woolly hair. And as we see down here, Judean from Lachish leaving with his cow and belongings, okay? You see that? Woolly hair. Black people, black folks, hello, let's go.
Kill me. Purge. You're a son of God.
Picture history of Jewish civilization. It's the same thing. We just confirming here. Same image. All right. Syrian relief showing the Hebrews abandoning Lachish. Okay, so this is just confirming what we see here. All right. His woolly hair.
You a child of God. You got purpose. It's in you. The law put it there, and there ain't nothing nobody can do to take it away.
Woolly hair. Now, I bring out a lot of information on this. And one of the things I bring out, how, the British, okay, they have stolen our artifacts and hid our identity. And they make fun of it in films. The British decided to deal drastically with the entire Igbo nation, destroying both their kings and kingdoms, carrying away their artifacts, and deliberately erasing their history and particularly their Jewish identity. Carrying away their artifacts and erasing their identity. That's what they were showing you in the movie Black Panther when, Killmonger went into the British Museum.
Good morning.
And he saw the artifacts.
I was just checking out these artifacts. Where's this one from?
The Bobo Ashanti tribe, present-day Ghana.
Hebrews of West Africa. Just showing here this image here of the Ashanti people, Ashanti ambassador crossing the Pra. Okay, right here we have the Ashanti men with the breastplates on it, okay, representing the 12 tribes, the 12 pieces, okay, again representing the 12 tribes of Israel, just like the movie King Solomon's Mine, okay.
See his necklace? And that necklace, 21st dynasty?
So?
When Solomon was king of Israel?
They had the 12 pieces on their neck. All right, so Hollywood understands this very well. They know who the real biblical people are. And she was talking about the Edo people of Benin.
What about this one?
That one's from the Edo people of Benin, 16th century.
Our kind wouldn't have wiped out an entire species.
Of course you would. They've been doing it for centuries.
How do you think your ancestors got these? You think they paid a fair price? Or did they take it like they took everything else?
So yeah, they know this history, and they're putting it in these films. Little do you know. But until we acquire this knowledge, then we can see these devils for who they are and start supporting our own. One of the funny things is, even Hitler knows our identity. Yes, even Hitler knows who we are. This book, The Nazis by Time Life Books. Okay, we got Hitler here. Okay, and we got these images that's up here in this book. But I want to go right here into this section and bring this out. In one segment of a Nazi instructional film, right, which Hitler was showing to his men, okay, the genetic heritage of the Jew is purportedly traced to Oriental Negro. Yeah, you see that? Negro. But yet we don't know who we are, and we're still calling ourselves black folks. And then Hollywood makes fun of it.
I'm very proud to be half Korean. Thank you, honey. But don't forget, you also 1/4 Jewish.
Mazel tov, baby.
Shalom.
Even the Jewish community know who we are.
Do you know that the black man in America is Israel? That he's Jews? Do you know that?
Yes.
For a fact. And they know about the genetic testing on our people to confirm who we are as the biblical people, as the Hebrew Israelites. We are not black people.
Is in Africa. Africa has perhaps hundreds of millions of people with this identity right now of being from the people of Israel.
You ever hear African Jews?
African Jews?
Yeah, no, all right, no. So these are black Jews, all right? They're stranded in the middle of Ethiopia.
That when the Romans conquered Judea, a few hundred years after that the tribes of Israel went into exile, perhaps millions of Judeans were sold into slavery. Into Africa, into Rome, deep into Africa. And if you look now, you're seeing people who are most likely the descendants of those slaves who kept true. I like to bring up a few specific examples because they're going to be game changers. One of them wrote letters to Israel when it became a state. And they said, we're Israelites out in Africa. You know, everyone laughed at them and they said, African Israelites, these people are just trying to jump on the first world country bandwagon. They're living in a third world country. They got nothing. We're coming to Israel. We got innovation, technology. So they're trying to get on this train because there's such a thing called the right of return. All descendants of the Jewish people from around the world were able to move to Israel. So they said we are also. And everyone kind of laughed at them, like I said. And a few people took it serious and went out there and started studying them, learned about their culture. And a professor from Duke University went out there and did DNA testing on them.
So the genetic testing actually proved to the doubters. Genetic testing actually proved to the doubters what you and your forefathers have been saying for generations. That must be exciting news.
It is.
And he showed not only do they share Semitic genes from people who were in Yemen and back to the Middle East, these gentlemen, a large percent of them, have the Y chromosome to be Kohanim, to be priests. Now, if anyone who doesn't know, a priest is a specific family clan of the nation of Israel who come from Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was the first priest. And anyone descended from Aaron has the status title priest. And we found that these men in this village in South Africa called Lemba, L-E-M-B-A, carry this genetic marker to let us know that they share the same as from the Sephardic and the Ashkenaz and the population of the people in Israel today. They share the same exact DNA marker. That's mind-blowing. So everyone kind of got humbled a little bit who laughed at them and said, now what? Now what do we do about this? This could have tremendous implications. Another area in Africa you have something big happening is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them, also Christians, like I spoke about before, how that could happen to the children of Israel very easily. But also a lot of them are now coming out and converting back or adopting the rules of the Torah without all the paganism that they've been practicing for hundreds of years. There's been books written about it from scholars in Nigeria, from scholars from the Jewish people. And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans.
I'm the only normal person left around here. I'm a black Jew, I can't read, I'm half drunk. I'm a black Jew.
You know, so what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is most likely there is something there.
And he accepts me. I'm Jewish.
And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today who are white, Caucasian people came in a little bit later on. We know that some of the greatest sages of the transmission of the Torah were converts from Rome. You have a man named Onkelos who wrote a commentary on the Torah, unprecedented, that we still learn today. He was a convert. Some of the largest pillars on the transmission today were Roman converts. So here we are, we're Caucasian Jewish people, and now you have people in Africa saying that they're the real people of Israel. It can't be ruled out at all. We know they were sold into slavery. We know now that they're fulfilling prophecies by saying, we're coming back.
The lost tribes of Israel were black.
However, if you would like to see this 2-hour video, it's about over 2 hours, hit the link in the description of this video now. On that note, I'm going to say peace and shalom.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.